Sorry guys, don't know what happened there. Sorry guys, don't know what happened there. Stream just cut out for a second, it's signed me out of YouTube. Back up and running though. Sorry about that. Back up and running. Rob's now right on the back of Mikey. Still very close between these two. Bit of a gap's forming between the front three. Seal, JD and Racer there. With 2 seconds apiece still though. JD picking up a penalty there yet again. On the exit of that corner, allowing Racer to catch right back up there. Back up into the slipstream. Can Racer put a move in on JD here? Ooh, isn't it in the bottom there? Rob gets past Mikey. Ooh, big slide from Rob there coming over the hill there. See if Racer can mount an attack on JD. JD picks up another half-a-second penalty. That is going to allow him to get through. Ooh, big slide there from JD. Soft tyres looking a bit worse for wear now. That allows Racer back through. Good, starting to space out a bit more now, and Cordell just running away with this already. 16 seconds ahead of Seal, that's in second place. Very large gap there. Seal managing to pull up a gap on the others there, on the medium tyres crucially. Is Cordell close to pitting? He's got a lot less fuel than Seal. But at this point, he's almost got a full pit stop ahead. Crucially. He's not coming in this lap. He is wearing out that fuel. I don't know if mediums was the good strategy to go on here. You gain a lot of time by going on the softs at this track, and Cordell is flying around here. This battle is still here though. Oh, but what happened to Rob? Down in 7th there, he must have made a mistake. Not a good race for Rob there, considering he was in 2nd at the start of this, the pole sitter. Now down in 7th place. Not a good day at the office for him. Got JD trying to catch back up to Racer. Hi Deepak, thanks for joining us today. that's wide from Racer there. That's going to compromise him a lot there. JD making up a lot of time in that corner there. Oh, and Racer going very wide again, missing his braking point in the dirty tyres. That's going to allow JD to move right on through there. It's unfortunate for Racer. I think them dirty tyres really caught him off guard. And now Paul's managed to overtake Mikey as well. This race seemed to be a lot about more of consistency this time around than last week. It's allowed Paul to catch back up to Racer. Will he be able to get into the slipstream by the main straights? Soft tyres performing well compared to the mediums. Racer wide again there. The medium's not looking good at this point. Still going round though. JD's the first one to pit, followed quickly by Paul. First two to make the jump there, and Rob comes into the pit as well. Crucially with a lot of more fuel saved, but will it be enough to try and catch up to the back of these two? I'm not sure. Let's have a look back on track here. This does open the grid out quite a lot though. It's the closest battle between Racer and Mikey. We're 4 seconds apart now. JD comes out of the pits. Paul followed closely by Rob there. Rob managing to make up some time in the pits there. Only 1.5 seconds behind. It opens the grid out quite a lot here. More than likely, Cordell, Racer, Mikey all going to be coming into the pits this time. Four front runners right now look to be going to be coming into the pits this lap, I would guess. Seal may string it out for one more lap, but not sure if that's going to be worth it. If Cordell comes out ahead of Seal, it'll take a pretty big mistake to put anybody else in contention for the win of this now. Let's see if Cordell comes into the pits here. He does. The leader makes a move into the pits. Let's see what he goes for, and very minimal fuel. Crucially, Seal on a lot more fuel than that. Does he stay out? He does stay out. Now, where does Cordell come out ahead of Seal here? He's taking his time. Seal does come out ahead of Cordell there. He's still in the pits for fuel. Racer comes in. Mikey crucially stays out on their mediums. Cordell just coming out the pits now. Is a very, very long pit stop there. Almost 30 seconds in the pits there for Cordell. Racer still in the pits there. Oh, unfortunately doesn't manage to catch this, but this is going to be the battle now. JD, followed by Paul, followed by Rob, closely there. Racer comes out a bit behind them. Fresh tyres really giving them more pace on that outlap. Racer going back onto a set of mediums. Opting not to go for the softs. Let's see how that works out for him. Meanwhile, just up ahead of him, Rob's trying to challenge Paul here. Ooh, Paul goes very wide into this. Oh, and JD spun. Disaster for JD there, who was running very well. Cool tyres. Just coming out the pits. It's unfortunate for JD, who's having a very good race there. Rob managing to get past Paul as well. Deploying Moses. Parting the streams. And Rob just cleanly slides on through to both of them there. Already opening up a second lead. And Racer's challenging JD here. JD does want to try and fight this since Racer is on the fresher of the two tyres. Oh, disaster again. JD gets it wrong. Slides out back into Racer. That's unfortunate for them. That puts them very far behind anybody else in the grid. It's unfortunate for JD. It was tight coming through there. Back end just stepping out for JD and going into the side of Racer there, putting them quite far behind the rest of the grid. Let's settle down into this race here again. Seal still out. Maybe opting for the one stop. I don't think it's going to be possible. I don't think a one stop is going to be possible as Mikey finally comes into the pits. Now this is going to put him very far down. He's just coming into the pit box here, and Rob and Paul are already past the start finish line. This is going to put them very, very far down. I don't think a one stop is going to be possible. I might be wrong, but looking at the times, it does not look like it's going to be possible. Oh no, Mikey coming out of the pits there on lower fuel, just on the back of JD and Racer there. You might know something I don't. Opting not to go with a full fuel tank there. But he is on the fresher tyres, so it means that he will be hunting both of these two down on these softs. Let's see how that fares for him. Racer with a 1.7 second lead over JD now. Paul still keeping up with Rob there. Still drawing out. Ooh, he goes a bit wide on exit there, loses a bit of time. Has a better run through there though. Both on a set of soft tyres though. Fairly even in terms of pace. These two are definitely racing for position. Very, very similar amounts of fuel, very similar amounts of tyres. As Seal finally goes into the pits. As Cordell's going to go streaking on through. Cordell is going to be even further ahead here. There goes Seal. Opting for a very low amount of fuel there. Keeping him well ahead of Rob and Paul. And crucially, that puts him in quite good contention with Cordell now. Although he is on medium still, so he will lose time to Cordell here. Rob opening up more time. Let's keep the camera on these guys for a bit as we see if these guys can catch back up. Racer opening a little bit more time to JD there, but JD gains more time coming over the source there. Almost half a second in fact. Very good run. Gaining time on Mikey there as well, pulling ahead. Mikey not quite managing to get that Porsche working from today. He's usually very good on this thing. Not quite managing to hook it up there. Is he saying that though? He does gain half a second on JD. The gap's even between these three now. Ooh, Racer goes a bit wide. Oh, JD goes very wide there. He's going to be losing some time to Mikey there. Oh, he gains a penalty. Oh, and JD goes wide at the corner yet again. Dirty tyres, catching them out as well. But Mikey also goes wide, following him. See if he can gain even more time here. Meanwhile, up ahead, I think Paul might have made a mistake there, because his Racer is now right on the back of him. He's lost a lot of time to Rob. It must have been a mistake there from Paul. It's unfortunate. He was running quite well behind Rob there, but now he's 14 seconds behind now. Racer really putting on the pressure here. Race on much fresher tyres and crucially a lot more fuel. Oh, Mikey manages to get past JD there. Slip one up the inside. Very tight going across there. Oh, just missed that as well. Racer gets past Paul. It's funny, we're actually seeing different tyres work for different people here. Whereas Cordell and a few others are making the soft tyres work very well. Others seem to be struggling with the life. Thank you, Jay, it means a lot. Hopefully you and everybody else watching is enjoying it as well. It's the only battle going on track right now. Ooh, Paul having a much nicer run out there at the end of that corner. See if he can mount an attack. Not quite close enough yet. Ooh, goes a bit of an inside, gets a bit squirrely. Still in the back there. Ooh, Razor goes wide at that corner, allowing him to catch more on time up. Just back and forth between these two now. To see Mikey coming into the picture there might allow him to catch up to these two here, as he is gaining time on both of them here. Paul very close now. Will he be able to mount an attack? Ooh, Racer going wide at the corner there. That might opt for a penalty for him. Oh, Paul did being the smart decision and blocking out there, but Racer goes wide. Missing the braking point there, and that's an easy overtake for Paul. Good pressure from him. It really is hard to master the braking points at this track, especially in these cars. It's very unpredictable. So Mikey gets a good run there. Let's have a quick check up top to see what the gap is between Cordell and Seal and Rob. So we've got 16.7 seconds. Crucially, Seal not losing that much time to Cordell. The low fuel helping a lot with that. Seal might be going for at least maybe one more lap after this, maybe, if he has enough fuel for it. I imagine he might be taking that set of medium tyres to the end, but just pitting for fuel might work out for him. Cordell has more fuel though, so Cordell will probably be, I would say, maybe back up to his original 30-second time gap between the two of them. And Rob 16 seconds behind him as well. Seal going very quickly now with a very nice sector there, putting up his personal best. Let's have a quick look back at this action here. Mikey managing to close up even closer to Racer here. Good lines there by Racer, but even better lines by Mikey, allowing him to catch up more time. He's going to have a very nice slipstream at the back of this. Ooh, Mikey gets a bit tail happy there. As Seal does in fact come into the pits this lap. Let's see where this leads him. If he does have to put in a full tank of fuel, this might prove costly for him. Let's keep it on here for the moment. Let's see if Mikey goes for attack down the inside. Doesn't quite have the brakes to do that time. Seal is still in the pits. If he's too much longer, he might be able to catch by this little group that's coming and catching up to him. Rob's ahead of him now. No, there goes Seal. Out of the pits there. Just ahead of Paul, Racer and Mikey there. Does not want to get involved in that battle there, as JD also comes into the pits. While these guys are battling, this might be a good opportunity for JD to gain up some time here. If he puts on a fresh set of soft tyres, he might be able to gain a lot of time on these guys, because he has looked quick here. He has matched the pace of all these other drivers here today. Paul and Racer both picking up penalties going through there. Mikey still charging at the back there on his soft tyres. Crucially though, Paul's tyres are not looking good right now. The Seal is making a lot of time on this group here. This is exactly what he needs to do in order to catch Cordell and Rob ahead of him. But he's 46 seconds behind Cordell at this point. He will gain that some of that time back, but it is a very, very large margin to catch. He's going to need to have a very good outlap and a couple of laps here on these fresh sets to even put a dent in Cordell's time that he's made up there. Let's copy the action. Oh, Mikey loses it on the exit of that corner. He will have dirty tyres going through this section. Oh, and he goes wide again, but so does Racer. Lots and lots of Porsche sliding here today. Oh, you see Paul diving into the pits there. Mikey and Racer both opting to stay out here. Mikey's rear tyres look a bit worse for wear. I don't know if he'll have the grip that all of these guys have now. Let's see where Paul comes out ahead of JD here. 32 seconds behind. It will be close. This will be close between these two here. To catch these two coming over the top of the hill here. Mikey crucially not in slipstream anymore, and getting a slightly worse run out of there. Paul makes it out ahead of JD with quite a comfortable gap to spare. but these two can still gain a lot of time on the other group that's ahead. Oh, that will be a big penalty for Paul there, coming across the top of the hill. There you go, the 1 second penalty being dropped there. Let's focus on these two for now. It is looking quite nice for Racer here. He's got the fresher tyres, he's got the harder compound of tyre, but they are a lot fresher, and he's got much more fuel. Mikey might have to go into the pits this lap, and that'll put him right in between this battle that might be forming here between Paul and JD. As he's only 23 seconds in. Ooh, he's a bit of slide coming out of the corner yet again from Mikey. His car looking a bit uncontrollable today. Again, oh, he's all over the place there. Lots of tyre smoke, lots of drifting. Not the fastest way around to get around the track, but damn does he look good doing it. As Rob comes in at the pits there. A lot of fuel. Where will he come out? Will he come out between Racer and Mikey here? Just pulls into the pits. Change of tyres. Where are Racer and Mikey? Racer comes out on the start finish straight as Mikey goes into the pits. Racer will get out, just get out ahead of Rob there. Rob on a set of medium tyres, crucially enough. And fuel. Let's see where Mikey comes out now. As Paul comes around the hairpin. Paul will just get ahead of Mikey. Let's look at JD, as there's Mikey. JD just manages to get out ahead of Mikey, who's now on another set of mediums. And Mikey, unfortunately, yet again finds himself at the bottom of the grid after them pits. JD and Paul having the undercut. I think they might be able to take them soft tyres to the end of the race. But crucially, I don't think JD's put enough fuel into the car. Half tanks of fuel will not get him round, so he will have to make another pit stop there. Rob trying to close up to the back of Racer now, to keep it on him for a bit. Fresh set of medium tyres. Plenty of fuel. Does not look like he needs to pit anymore as our leader comes into the pits. This is where Seal will gain the most time through here. This will be, on this level of fuel, this will be about a 30-second stop. Looking at how much time he gained the other time. Although when you look, that time is climbing for Cordell down that straight. Seal is fuel saving hard, it looks like, compared to Cordell, as he gains over 2 seconds just on that straight alone. A very, very large gap between these two. And there goes Cordell. Again on a fresh set of racing softs, full amount of fuel. That will be him to the end of the race. And Seal, unfortunately, not managing to catch him at this point. Oh, and he gets a big slide coming out of the hairpin there, showing off for the fans. As we go back to the battle for third place, Rob really putting a pedal to the metal now. Ooh, Racer gets it a bit wide coming out of there, allows Rob to gain a bunch of time through that hairpin. Don't think he's quite in slipstream range, so he does lose that bit of time coming down these straights, but he will gain through the corners here. So Racer does need to pit one more time, so crucially If Rob and Racer battle here, Racer does not want to fight Rob here. As soon as Rob gets close enough, he does want to let Rob past because he does not want to lose any time battling him, because he will need to pit. He wants to have as much time on Paul and JD as possible here. So Rob gains even more time going down into that slipstream range. Racer has looked very comfortable at times during this race, although like him many others have made some mistakes as well that has allowed him to lose quite a bit of time during the race. As he goes a bit wide in that corner yet again, Rob comes right up to the back of him now. Rob can take it easy. Ooh, as Racer goes a bit wide there again, and Rob manages to get through there as Racer goes a bit wide on the exit of that corner again. That corner seemed to be catching out a lot of people today. A lot of people managing to get into that sand trap there. Racer still managing to cling on to Rob in the meantime, as Rob goes wide in that corner. Now crucially, will Racer pit this lap? He does not, he stays out. Now. It's a 15.5 second gap between him and Paul there, and he is going to be losing time. I think he needed to pit that lap to try and maximise the amount of time he's going to have on them softs during the end. But we'll see. JD may actually get to the end of this race. It'll be a big shout, but he really does need to try and save more fuel. He may be able to do it. It's going to be a big ask. He might only have 3 laps worth of fuel at the moment, but we'll have to see. Paul having enough to the end of the race, Mikey having more than enough to the end of the race, though he is quite far back now. Might have made him another mistake there, as he was quite close to the back of JD there. Ooh, big slide coming over the top there. Oh, and both Paul and JD running very wide there. This is going to be big penalties for the both of them. Wow, okay. Fair enough. Paul only getting half a second penalty for that then, and JD only getting a second penalty. Fair enough, I guess. Rob managing to gain a bunch of time on Racer now, opening up a 4-second gap between them two there. Cordell managing to put even more distance between him and Seal after that round of pits. An 18.5 second gap. Rob with a 22-second gap between him and Seal. As long as he keeps it clean, doesn't make any mistakes, third place should be his. Because Racer will need to pit this lap, and crucially, he's lost 3 seconds to Paul on that lap alone. That is a lot of time that he could have saved by going into the pits a lap earlier. This is going to be a lot bigger deal. This is going to be a big ask of Racer to try and keep with these guys now as he does come to the pits. Needs about 4 or 5 laps worth of fuel, and he's going to be on fresh racing softs. But it's going to be a big ask as he has lost a lot of time on that lap. As JD goes into the pits there as well. Where is Paul? Paul comes around the hairpin, and he will be ahead of Racer there. Quite comfortably as well. Where's Mikey? Mikey coming up to the hairpin now. There's Racer. Racer just managing to stay ahead of Mikey, but it is going to be close coming up to this section here. Mikey's still going to have a much better run. although Racer is on fresh racing softs, whereas Mikey is on worn racing mediums. So it's going to be very, very difficult for Mikey to try and catch Racer now. For the first time this race, the grid is looking very spaced out now. Apart from these two right here. Racer managing to pull half a second to there. Now, this is a spanner in the works. Seal is having to pit again. So where will this put him out ahead? He should be ahead of Rob. But again, he has lost some time. Putting in some fuel here. Switch to Rob Cam. Where will he be? Comes down the hairpin. Seal's out. It's a 2.5 second lead. Again, Seal is on racing softs. Rob is on racing mediums. Similar situation with Racer and Mikey. It's going to be a big deal to try and ask Rob to try and catch Seal, because Seal has been very quick around this track. Ooh, and Rob slides it around them corners there. Looking very nice on the camera. Racer pulling out even more of a gap on Mikey. Getting up to 1.8 seconds there. Seal managing to put a little bit more time between him and Rob. Oh! That's a spin. Mikey sends it round. Just saw the triangle on the top of the map there. It's unfortunate for Mikey. And that means that JD might have a chance to catch him now. That Porsche not looking very nice for Mikey at all today. Not sure what happened today, but does not look like it's been a fun race for Mikey at all. He was usually so competitive in this car. The gap is now 3 seconds. This looks like it could be the last battle. So a quick look as Seal manages to put up the same gap. 3.7 seconds ahead of Rob now. Afterburners have been switched on and he's pulling away from Rob on that lap. Very nice exit out of that corner. Putting up some good distance between him and the third place runner. Let's keep it on these two for now. Can JD manage to catch Mikey in the closing stage of this race? He's got 5 minutes left to do it. 3, maybe 4 laps. Ooh, as Mikey gets it wrong into the chicane there. Allowing JD to catch right up to the back of Mikey. And crucially in slipstream range. Very nice run out of that hairpin from JD there. This will guarantee him a run on Mikey. Just needs to keep it clean over the source. Which it does. Mikey doesn't. goes very wide at the exit of that corner. He's had big problems with them corners all day today. He's not managed to keep it stable there. And unfortunately JD goes right on through. Ooh, but JD goes wide at there. Ooh, almost recreating the spin he had before. Braking points really have seemed to struggle some of these drivers today. It's the only close battle on track right now. Mikey dropping back yet again, just not having the grip from them medium tyres. Ooh, big slide from Mikey there. And that looks to be that for the moment. JD managing to pull out a 3.4 second lead on Mikey there, being on the much fresher rubber, as well as being on the softer compound. And slightly less fuel as well. A lot of time gained from them. Let's have a quick check on Racer. 10 seconds separate him and Paul, and as well separate him and JD. It's unfortunate for Racer today. He was caught up in a couple of incidents, a couple of little mistakes which cost him a bunch of time in the end. Otherwise he would definitely have been up there with Paul, fighting for that 4th place spot. Again, a bit unsure what happened to Rob at the beginning, because he was running in 2nd place. I don't know if he was just trying to save too much fuel at the start, as that's why he dropped so far down. If he hadn't had such a bad start, he would have been right on the back of Seal here. I think he just saved too much fuel on the start of this race, as he lost a lot of time within the first few laps. Seal, consistent race as ever. Let's not forget about Paul. He's been involved in quite a few battles today. In a shiny green 7-Up car. Kept it clean, kept it consistent. Unfortunately I don't think the strategy quite worked out for today. But if he'd managed to get the strategy right, then he would have been right up there again, showing the pace that we know he does have. And then, but really, what can I say? This race has just been dominated by one person, Mr. Cordell, in the very, very shiny green Porsche there. Let's give him a bit of screen time for the end of this race, shall we? We haven't seen much of him this race because he's just been so damn far ahead. Good stuff. 42-second gap to Seal. I mean, what more can you say? Right strategy, right pace. Nothing more that can be said. Excellent drive by Cordell today. The right strategy, sticking with the soft tyres all the way. Making the strategy work for him. I mean, he's gained on every single stint he's had. Every single one. And this will be the final lap, it looks like. And can Mikey, manage to get across the line before this final bit here? Them tyres looking very, very worn on that car there. Just managing to make it across the line means he won't be lapped crucially. There he is. Oh, don't get too cocky now, Cordell. No trouble, no dramas, no worries. Cordell, plenty of fuel, plenty of tyres, great strategy, comes across the line to win. Emphatic victory from Cordell there. 40 seconds ahead of second place. Never in doubt today. Led from the start and just continued. Pure pace. As we look to our second place man. Consistent as ever from Seal. Very nice drive. Few battles at the start. As he comes across the line now to finish in second. Mr. Robot Chameleon himself. Good podium, good recovery drive from him. From being 7th at the start of the race. Our pole sitter. Unfortunately, you have to ask him what happened to him at the start of the race. Because not quite sure what happened. Because he was very slow at the start of the race for the first few laps. So we'll have to have a check-in with him. Paul coming across the line, 4th place, good drive from him today. Racer managing to gain some time on him at the end there. Good race from him. JD, good race from him. Improvement from last week. Very much in the running through all of that. Very nice race from him. And unfortunately, it has not gone well for Mighty today. He's lighting up the rear tyres, giving us a show here. Go on, Mikey. Show off. There we go. Tyre smoke to end this lovely drift at the end. Comes across the line to round up today's race. Good racing from all today. Nobody without penalties this time around. There he is, Mr. Monster himself, Cordell. Fastest lap. Never in doubt this race. GG all. Save that real feel with a click. I'm not sharing it this week because I know how long that takes now. Ah, you were paused, Rob, that's why. Makes sense. I could see you ghosting for a lot of the time. I was wondering what was happening, to be fair. I was wondering why you lost so much time at the start. That makes sense now. No, it's unlucky, man. It's unlucky. Good recovery drive, though. You were only 7 seconds or so off Seal at the end, so it's a great drive by you to recover that. 12 seconds, sorry, at the end. Good recovery drive from you. Well-deserved podium. But yeah, what more can I say about that race? We actually had battles throughout the entirety of that race, pretty much, which was quite nice to see. Never without action. We had at least one battle throughout pretty much the entirety of that race, bar like the last few laps where it opened up a bit. But apart from that, pretty good stuff. It's unlucky for Paul today. Didn't manage to quite have the race here today, but no problem, Paul. Thanks for taking part, mate. Good racing from you today. hope to see you again next week. Yeah, don't worry, Jem. I'm going to hop into the chat in a second and get everybody's reaction from that. Let's hop into the other chat, shall we? Let's get it over with. Apologies for the blue screen. But yeah, just get ready for a lot of noise. So I'm sure there will be. Congrats, guys. Good racing.
Here comes the press. The press has come to interview the drivers.
So that was some good racing today. There was pretty much battles throughout that entire race, like all over the field, so it was quite good. Apart from one, of course, who had to ruin it for everybody by staying too far out in front.
I was embarrassed myself.
Didn't fall asleep up there, did you, Cordell?
No, because I kept trying to go for fast slaps. I just kept trying to push my car as much as I can. And I was saying to the guys, I absolutely nailed the 23-1 lap. I was just pushing. That's why I was gutted.
Yeah.
Not getting pole, because I knew I had the speed to get a really good time.
Yeah. Well, you made it work in the end.
Yeah, which is the main thing.
Yeah, pole is nice for the extra points. Yeah, but it, as you see, it didn't really matter. I mean, there was good battles in the beginning. I mean, I had an error. I touched Rob on the one of the first or second lap when we were coming through no name, and we were really close, and I was inside, and I made a little tap on him, so we had to wait. So that kind of threw his race off a little bit because Cordell started leaking away that lead right away. So
to be fair, Racer, I don't think your incident would have cost him that much time, considering he had to pause for pretty much the majority of that one. So that's why he lost so much time at the start. Apparently he had some escaped dogs, so he had to round them up at the start of the race. So apparently he was like on pause for like a minute trying to do that. That's why he lost so much time at the start, unfortunately.
Oh, sugar.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was unfortunate for him. It was a really good recovery drive, all things considered, though.
absolutely.
Because he wasn't what was 12 seconds behind you, Seal. I mean, again, he still managed to get a podium, so
Yeah,
can't say too much about that.
Yeah, he was like all the way at the back, I think, at a certain point.
Yeah, he was.
Like,
That's why I was wondering until he came into the pits. I think the AI pretty much like. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was just the AI that kind of screwed up the strategy a bit with the fuel and tyres and stuff. So
his coding need to be flashed.
yeah, just flash
charge
white.
up his batteries quickly. It's probably getting hacked.
I think.
But no, that was
Paul did real well to come back. I mean, to jump right in and do really well. I know it's a bit of a learning curve with this car. It's bloody quick, that's for sure. It's
yeah, definitely.
Did get an ice cream van.
I was going to say, who's getting some ice cream?
Tempted to. Ice
Get
cream
me a
van
99, will you?
I got 50p. If I'm on my floor, I might see what I can get. Probably
Get like a
cone.
50p mix up or something.
I'll probably just get the cone of an ice cream.
Just get a singular flake.
How much for just either get just a cone or just a dollop of ice cream in my hand?
There's no cone, please. You hold out your hands. Just in here, it's fine.
He's a rip-off. My nephew went there. He's only fucking fool. He charged £2 for a clipboard. Fucking £2.
Buy a box of them from Tesco for £2.
I know, but because he's fucking full, you have to have a clipboard from the ice cream van.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. Yeah, you can't argue with that.
But like, if you wait 5 minutes, I'll buy you 6 clipboards. Nope. I want the one.
Want it now?
What's the next round, Doug?
next round is Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca, that is going to be a real test of your concentration, because that is a lot of laps.
It's a lot of laps
around there, less than a minute 30, I think, and it's going to be.
And the good thing about these previous, with obviously the Turbo GP and this one, there's obviously straights, and there's a few little technical corners. With Laguna Seca, they're all hard corners, particularly in this car. So it's going to be, it's going to be a huge,
watch out for the curbs.
Test.
Yeah, the curbs of death.
Yep. You hit one of them curbs in this thing, you are going in the sand.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So just be glad it's not Willow Springs, but.
Laguna Seca is close to that, but I do like Laguna. Don't get me wrong, but this car, I don't think I've ever raced with this car in Laguna, which is a surprise. But it's going to be a test to the max.
I don't think I would even want to commentate on Willow Springs.
I forget, was it Seal and Mikey? We were testing. We just started up some tests there. We did a couple laps there. We practiced the start there. It was it's a tricky track. I mean, you can if you can nail down your laps, I mean, you can make it go real well. But if you get off track a little bit,
you're finished. Yeah.
Especially turn 7, I think. Is it going up towards the uphill towards the corkscrew? That one's going to catch.
Yeah, a lot of people like that.
10, 7, and 8.
Even the course. I think again, as most tracks is, particularly Laguna, is on that track, you're probably gonna have to brake 50 yards earlier due to the speed, and because if you don't, then you're going straight off into that sand pit, and then you're gonna waste like 10 seconds, like something stupid.
Yeah.
So
with this car's rear weight balance, the corkscrew is going to be very, very tricky.
My suggestion is run probably minus on your weight balance for Laguna, purely because of the rear tail happiness in this car. That would be my suggestion. But then again, during the race, you want to look after your tyres. So I think Laguna is probably going to be the most technical track out of all this. Races.
When I was deciding the tracks, after testing them, I thought that Laguna is going to be the big test. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be a big test. Kind of these 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds, are going to build up to Laguna Seca as the major test of people's concentration. There's going to be a lot of laps. The pit window is a lot like this. It's going to be a painful pit window, but we'll see. I haven't done a full race stint to see how it's how it's going to boil out. I've just done hot stints, so the full race practice I haven't done. So.
Well, you have plenty of time to do that.
But I'd like to thank everybody for joining the race and everybody for watching. It's been a lot of fun.
It's enjoyable. I really do like this series.
No, really fun to watch. Good racing by all.
Good stream, because I'll watch it back. Good to watch.
We'll watch
good
race.
Yeah, definitely. Battles throughout. Never a dull moment.
I put on my final stint. I had Paul as my rabbit, as my carrot or whatever, and I was really chasing him. I took some time out of him, but
he definitely took some time out of him at the end as well.
Also, Matt, I think Sil's got something to tell you as well, in case you was wondering during the stream.
All right.
When I went into pit, I've been having trouble with my connected wheel, the button. For some reason it flipped. I think it hit 40%. My hands went in on the wheel and it stopped the fueling. I couldn't figure it out.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Yes.
It was Rob. It was Rob. Rob got it. Rob got into your network.
Yeah.
He got into the mainframe.
Yeah. Wasn't enough though. Wasn't enough.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. I was just wondering because I was thinking, well, it did put you out ahead of Rob, so I was like, it's not like a bad strategy by any means. I mean, it put you out like 12, 15 seconds out ahead of Rob, so I was like, I guess it works. He's gonna have to pit again, but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, worked out in the end. Good second place. No, it was a good second place for you, mate.
Maybe we'll introduce full damage, heavy damage.
Should just what we should do is for like the last race or so, if somebody's like way out in front, if we have like a donation or something to like safety car intervention, and Marmite, he'll just have to come out and take out whoever the leader is on track.
No, I won't take him out. He's got to stay at whatever speed. I'll just wait for everyone to catch up and get off track.
Well, yeah, maybe if somebody gets a 30-second lead, maybe you have to serve a drive-through. More than 30-second lead, they have to serve a drive-through.
Yes, punish them for being quick.
Don't do Laguna though, because Laguna's pit is probably like a minute long.
Laguna's awful.
Not close to this one. This one takes forever. I mean, you drive into the pits and your pit crew's just sitting there forever.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the time on this Spa was about 26 or 28 seconds, something like that. I think it was.
Yeah, it was long.
It's quite a bit. It was quite a bit. So I didn't think Spa was that long, to be fair. But
no, neither did I. 'Cause I mean, I think Cordell, you were like 15 seconds ahead at the start when like the first stints came in. When you came in, I was like, that might actually be enough for like the pit to get out ahead. But obviously, Seal then was like 12 seconds ahead.
Yeah, something like that. So I tried to work it out. I was like, oh shit, okay, maybe Seal's in a better strategy than I am. I was like, what's this going? But yeah, it ended up working well. So.
I think the full soft race strategy was a good idea.
I think it didn't look like the mediums worked out too well for most, if I'm honest. Like even like I think it was you Race and Mike, you had them on at the end and looked awful as well. I think the softs were just the ones to go for in the end.
I went.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead, JD.
I was saying I ran about like, cause I started on the softs thinking like the Nürburgring race where it was going to be, mediums were certainly the better bet. And I ran about maybe 5-6 laps on the mediums after my first pit stop, and I was just like, these are just horrible, and I just have to get off it. So that's kind of why I broke up my pitting strategy and just kind of went with it.
Yeah, I had that because I pitted about a lap early on my first stop, and I was debating I'm gonna be off my sequences, so maybe I should just switch to softs. And then when I went in there, I'm like looking at the 3 choices. I was like, no, because I'm gonna have to take this stint a little bit longer than the first stint, so I'll have to stay on medium. So I think if I would have been on softs in the beginning, whether my lap times would have been better or not, I don't know, because I made a lot of errors. I mean, so
I was wondering for the when you were going to be able to come in racer for that last stop there, because I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to come in now, because to try and get like an undercut and try and get it now, and he left it like that one extra lap. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean I did the practice I think a few days ago, and I've literally got all my times. I did literally a pre-race for myself, and I clocked that the softs were still relatively good for lap times, even towards the end of the stint.
Yeah.
I compared that to the medium stint. So mediums, you can do about 10 laps of them. But I also figured that I wanted to go gun-ho this race and don't fuel save.
Yeah.
So basically 8 laps. 8 laps is a full tank in this car going gun-ho. And I compared the times, and the softs was at least a lap faster every single lap. So that's 8 seconds right there. So I was like, well, stay in the softs. I was like, stay in the softs, probably the best thing to do. Clearly, obviously, it worked out. So practice makes perfect.
But yeah, on that note, I think that's a good point to end it. Yep. Yeah, no problem.
And remember to like, subscribe, and press that ringer button.
Hit the ringer.
Hit the ringer. Ringer. Chicken dinner.
Okay, now we'll end it. Right, bye. Right. Catch you guys later, and next week is Laguna Seca. So yeah, with that, catch you guys later.